Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the situation that we live stream tonight, all about Speaker McCarthy not being McCarthy anymore, RINO Central, just got removed, which we covered. He's also now declined to be the speaker again, which in layman's terms means he doesn't have the votes. We are about to break this down because this has massive implications, as this is the first time this has ever happened. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right, my brothers and sisters, listen, this is a really, really massive situation. When it broke earlier, and we did that live stream, we were talking about all the setup that led us to this point. So if you weren't subscribed to the channel, or you weren't watching, or you don't remember, at a very high level, we had Speaker McCarthy go through 15 votes to become Speaker of the House back in January. Well, when that happened, he had to make concessions, and one of the main concessions was to say one vote could oust him in a motion to vacate. Well, Matt Gaetz just did that motion to vacate, and now he's been removed in a vote as Speaker. He's not Speaker anymore. This is the first time this has ever happened. One RINO down. Now, this is massively important, and I'm going to get to that in 1 second, specifically for our gun rights. But now, let me just show you how Matt Gaetz and a few other Republicans took this flamethrower and burned pretty much everything into the ground, to be honest. Let's get it, people. Here we go. Check this out from the AP. McCarthy becomes the first speaker ever to be ousted from a job as a House vote. First ever. That's got to sting. Now keep in mind, there's more to this because now you got to get a new House Speaker. That's the next little saga here. Anyway, let's continue. Washington AP. Speaker Kevin McCarthy has voted out of the job Tuesday in an extraordinary showdown. A first in U.S. history, forced by a contingent of hard-right conservatives and throwing the House and its Republican leadership into chaos. Now, let's address the hard-right thing. The hard-right differentiation that they're throwing on these Republicans was they wanted things like a balanced budget, and they wanted the Second Amendment protected, and they didn't want to work with Democrats to raise the funding and spending bills and temporary measures as kind of what they were doing. So does that sound like hard far right, or does that just sound like basic conservative principles? I'm not defending anybody. I'm not saying yay, nay. I'm just kind of trying to bring this to you as impartial as possible. But does that sound like hard right to you? This is the important piece. The RINO class got some power, but they had to make concessions to the, I don't want to say all the way conservative, I want to say the Freedom Caucus members, the conservative versions of the Republicans in the House. That's what we're dealing with. Chip Roy's, Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boeberts, those types of people. Okay? But let's continue because there's a lot here. It's the end of the political line for McCarthy, who has said repeatedly that he never gives up, but found himself with almost no options remaining. Neither the right-flank Republicans who engineered his ouster nor the Democrats who piled on seem open to negotiating. Translation? He's done. McCarthy told lawmakers in the evening he would not run again for Speaker, putting the gavel up for grabs. Next steps are highly uncertain as there is no obvious successor to lead the House Republican majority. Action is halted in the House until next week when Republicans try to elect a new Speaker. Now, this is where the payoff, I hinted at this in the live stream that we did earlier. This is where the payoff is. Because now, if you are a RINO, if you are a Republican who doesn't support gun rights, and you have some constituency in the House representatives who do want you to support gun rights, now you're going to be vacated and you're going to lose a job. There's now precedent. Understand, this is bigger than just the Ukraine funding. This is bigger than the continuation spending bill. This is about you losing your job if you do not do what you say you're going to do, if you do not represent your caucus. Essentially, the Rubicon has been passed because it's never happened before. And now, Republicans in the future are going to understand that their power is tied to a motion to vacate, which you just saw Kevin McCarthy be the first person removed. That's a RINO situation right there. But let's continue because our gun rights are right in line with that. Let's continue. While McCarthy enjoyed support from most Republicans in the slim majority, 8 Republican detractors, many of the same hard-right holdouts, who tried to stop him from becoming Speaker in January, essentially forced him out. Now understand, this is about holding the people in power. The uniparty that everyone says exists, The ones where you either get Democrat or Democrat light. It's how much you're going to spend, not if you're going to cut spending. It's how much gun control you're going to get, whether not gun control. That kind of vibe, yeah, he's out. Because you didn't hear Kevin McCarthy say anything about the continuing resolutions to put forward to stop the ATF's overreach and the usurpation of their power. Didn't hear a word about that. Well, that kind of sucks because now you're out of power. That's the important piece. We leverage this properly, our rights have more power to be brought to the forefront rather than just relegated to the side as a bargaining chip. That's the key. That's the payoff. Let's continue here because now this is just interesting. It was a stunning moment for McCarthy, a punishment fueled by growing grievances but sparked by his weekend decision to work with Democrats to keep the federal government open rather than risk a shutdown. But in many ways, McCarthy's ouster was set in motion when, in deal-making with hard right holdouts at the start of the year, there's that hard right again. It's almost like the AP's trying to couch them as something. He agreed to a series of demands, including a rules change that allowed any single lawmaker to file a motion to vacate, as we talked about on this channel back in January. The fight that we have every single day is bigger than just, hey, this person infringed upon your rights today. That's what happened. See you tomorrow. It's bigger than that. This is, hey, here's what's happening in the broad spectrum. Here's what all the pieces are lining up, and here's how your gun rights are influenced by it. Here's how you plan out the next 6 to 8 months of strategy versus watching what they're doing and announcing what's happening, and it's actually making a move. That's the key. If you focus on just what they're doing in that moment, you are mercy to them because they are literally only having you report on what they're doing. If you start taking the ball on the opposite side and start planning and start actually delivering where this is heading, you can start putting them on defense, which is what we've seen over the past few months and beginning of a year. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're about, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.